Hey geometry students, this is problem 11 from your homework assignment 9.4. And this is a proof with triangles. So first thing we want to notice is that C is the midpoint of BE, reading our givens. So for something to be a midpoint, that tells us that the two segments on either side of it are congruent. So let's label that really quick. And then we also know that angle B is congruent to angle E, which is already labeled for us. And AB is congruent to DE, which is also already labeled for us. All right, so now let's start our proof. We have angle B congruent to angle E, that's given. And we have AB congruent to DE, that's another one of our givens. And so we have to state our last given, which is that C is the midpoint of BE. That's the one we haven't mentioned yet. So let's write that down. C is midpoint of BE. Okay. So, like we labeled on our picture here, since C is the midpoint, we know that BC and CE are the same length. So we're going to write BC is congruent to CE. And that's because C is the midpoint, so that's the definition of a midpoint. All right, so we're almost done. Now we just have to decide which of our four triangle postulates we're going to use to show that these are congruent to each other. So if we look at our drawing up here, we have side, we have two sides actually, and we have an angle. So that's actually going to be side, angle, side, because the angle is between the two sides. So SAS. And there we go, we're all done with number 11.